Hunt 'em Big with Steve Bartylla. Brought to you by
You know, there's a lot of questions about how often a person should hunt a stand. If you hunt it too much, you know what? You're going to end up burning stuff out. If you don't hunt it enough, well, you don't have an opportunity. Quite honestly, a heck of a lot of it has to do with timing, in my humble opinion. Absolutely every stand has peaks and valleys, just like a roller coaster. Now, what you're trying to do is you're trying to match that stand site with the time of season it's actually going to be the very hottest. Okay, you don't want to hunt it before then, because at that point, all you're doing is risking educating these deer and burning out a stand before it even gets good. You don't want to hunt it afterwards because, well, there's better spots to be, and that's where I want to be at that time. It doesn't really matter if we're talking small landowners, which this is mission critical for, or larger, people that have sprawling acres to hunt. Going ahead and figuring out how you can go ahead and overhunt those hot stands, really one of the best things you can possibly do for your hunting, in that it helps keep your property fresh. While your property stays fresh, the deer on it, they don't realize to the extent that they're being hunted, they end up being much more cooperative. And now you look at that small landowner, and man, most small landowners, or those hunting smaller hunting parcels, you don't have 500 different stand options. You're darn lucky if you can come up with a decent stand for each phase of season. And then coming up with one for each wind direction. I mean, it starts getting to be massively challenging. One of the things that helps quite a bit is if you can go ahead and on those hot spots, if you can come up with multiple stand sites, 2, possibly even 3 for various wind directions, as long as you can get there safely, as long as you can hunt it, as long as you can get out. And that right there is the key. You can overhunt the snot out of hot stands, especially during the rut. During the rut, those whitetails, Mr. Big, he's going ahead and he's jacking that testosterone level up in his system, and he's much more tolerant of our disturbances. Does he throw caution to the wind? Oh, heck no, he does not. But he's a bit more tolerant. Therefore, we can take advantage of that by being a bit more aggressive. And at the same time, by having those stand sites with those multiple wind directions, now we're starting to cook with gas. Because as long as they do not see us, as long as they do not hear us, as long as they do not smell us, perception is reality for every animal out there. It doesn't matter if we're talking humans or if we're talking whitetails. If they perceive that they're not being hunted, perception's reality. They're not. You pull it off by finding safe wind access so you're not smelled, and especially in bluff country, where the deer can bed up here and you're coming through down there, so you're not watched getting into those stands and preferably not heard. Okay, then you need that safe wind for that stand site as well that matches how you're getting in there, and you need a safe exit. As long as you're getting in without spooking deer, you're hunting without spooking deer, you're leaving without spooking deer, and then after you're gone, you've either taken your odor control seriously enough. Whitetails can pick up odors from humans up to 72 hours after they leave the woods. I have no doubt we educate way more deer while we're out of the woods than we ever do in, all through their nose. So take the odors we leave behind seriously. You do that, as long as they do not hear, see, or smell you, you are not there, and you can hunt those hot stands over and over and over again.
Final thoughts, brought to you by Huntworth.
There's all sorts of thoughts out there on when you should hunt stands, how often you should hunt them, all that good stuff. I personally find by far the most success by matching the stands I'm hunting to the phase of season and what the resident whitetails want at that time. Okay, but even then, as long as I can get in, hunt, get out and not leave a bunch of offensive odors around for deer to stumble across after I'm gone. If they do not hear me, if they do not smell me, if they do not see me, perception's reality. I wasn't there. And I can pound those hot stands over and over and over as long as that's the case.